Good morning. This is how I wake up. I just wanted to come in here and do a quick check-in. Part of the reason why I decided to do a little bit of a refeed and stop the weight loss was because I was getting constipated. Like I wasn't eating enough volume, but it was really hard to go to the bathroom, and that was really fucking with me, mentally, physically, both. So I've been refueling, eating more carbs, a lot more carbs than I'm used to, and it was the mindfuck a few days ago because I also noticed the scale go up 3 pounds, but a lot of that was just water weight, water retention from eating carbohydrates. Literally in the name, carbohydrate, so it hydrates you. It retains water, so a lot of the time when you like go out to eat and you eat a lot of carbs and then you're like, oh my god, I put on 5 pounds, most of that is just water. If it's a one-time thing. If it's like a multiple thing, then at some point you are going to be gaining weight because your body's going to be retaining some of that. But okay, it's so hot. As you can tell, I'm super glossy. I look like crap. It's 87 degrees, but it got up to 95 today in Lafayette. So my home is still hot. There's no AC. We thought we had AC, but we don't. So we need to go buy some fans. But that's not what this video is about. Last week I shared that I was crashing, feeling really tired, very dependent on caffeine. And I realized that honestly, it was time to get out of the cut or have a refeed week. So I decided to stop cutting because that's all I've been known to do in the past. Like I go in maintenance and then I cut. I go on maintenance and then I cut. I go on maintenance. And honestly, I'm at a point where I have a better relationship with food and with my body, but I still have moments like the one I'm about to share. But I went 2 to 3 years without cutting, which is great. I feel like I learned how to eat. I learned how to be in balance with myself. I recently reached a new level where I feel like my emotions to food are less attached, so I can manipulate food better in a way that fuels my body better, but without like having so much emotional attachment to it and feeling like I'm starving or suffering, whatever it is. And I feel like oftentimes food was always comfort for me. So anyway, but as I'm getting out of that deficit and I'm having to eat more like a normal person, I feel like I got really used to like eating smaller portions or eating so much volume food that when I'm eating denser foods, I feel really full. This is Wednesday. I started refeeding on Monday. So this is day 3. Like there's no way I like have reached the end of this. And I'm really trying to stick with it. I'm trying to stay patient for about 6 to 8 weeks to see what happens as my body adjusts. But I'm very prone to being bloated, feeling fluffy, like my digestion is still adjusting. And with all of that, I might look the same. I might not, but I feel a little bit, not fat, but a little bit bigger. A little bit like my belly sticks out a little bit more because I'm eating a lot more food than I was used to. And it's taking some digestion process time to happen, but it's hella hot and I couldn't figure out what to wear because I feel bloated and I didn't want compression on my stomach because I hate that, but at the same time, I don't want to wear a big shirt, big pants because it's hella hot. So I struggled to find an outfit that would make me feel comfortable enough walking out of, but also that matches the temperature. And I'm just realizing that as a girl, it's really hard to turn around eating less, trying to shrink yourself. And I'm not trying to shrink myself in order because I want to be skinny. I wanted to lose body fat so I can see my muscle more. And I think that's different than just wanting to be super lean to be lean. But I decided again to get out of the cutting phase, which I did pretty consistently for almost 3 months. Yeah, February, March. I can't do the months in English. I only can think in Spanish. February, March, April, and May. 4 months. February, I was like in and out of it, but I feel like I really committed those 3 months. And I saw huge progress, lost 15 pounds. I know I dropped, hopefully most of it was body fat. I feel like I was leaner, much leaner. But obviously my biggest goal is to put on more muscle. So in order to do that, I need to eat. I need to eat more. I need to learn how to eat in a cleaner way to make sure that it's lean muscle mass and I'm not gaining a lot of fat. And so I'm doing that, but in the process of doing that, as my digestion and my body adjust to more volume of food, I'm struggling with my body image because I'm a little bloated. That's just the reality of it. And I'm trying to, obviously getting fiber is a lot easier now that I have more volume in my food, but even mentally, it's like fucking with me. Like, oh my God, I'm really eating 100 grams of oats right now. I'm exaggerating. There's no way. That's a lot of oats, but like I'm really eating a full cup versus like having to not eat oatmeal for breakfast, you know? Like I'm struggling with those changes because I'm like, oh my God, I don't want this to go south and gain all the weight back. And so I'm having to like talk myself out of the ledge pretty consistently, and it's only been 3 days. So this is just to say that it's not an easy process to go from 1 to cut, because losing weight fucking sucks. It is hard. But I put my head down, I got in that mode, lost 15 pounds, and now I'm ready to like build back up. But the scale is gonna go up. It's just gonna have to in order for me to gain more muscle. And so that is a mind fuck for me as well. So I have to be okay with that. I'm having to be positive. It's okay if my clothes are a little tighter. It's okay. I'm here for the process, for the long term. I'm obviously not looking forward to cutting again, but in order for me to lose fat after gaining muscle, it's a process and it has to happen. But we're out here fueling back into a base state before I go into a bulking scenario. But it's mentally tough, and I just wanted to share that because I was talking to Sean, and like all I know is wanting to lose weight. I don't know what it's like to eat to build muscle. And I'm in a place in life where that's exciting, and I want to be jacked, and I want to eat enough to make sure that I'm doing that. And so I've been struggling to put on muscle. Guess what? Because I was always cutting calories or eating at a baseline or maybe even under that. And so trying to flip the switch on my brain and being okay with being in that process is not easy. But I'm being kind as I can be, talking about my feelings, sharing the journey. I will say there's a few things. Today I did not have coffee at all, day 1, since going decaf for a full week. I decided that caffeine is not for me. I needed it as a crutch for that deficit in calories because I was gonna be tired from lack of food. But now that I'm out of it, I am easing out of caffeine again. I'm back to regular, but I'm tired. Feeling a little bit bloated, I'm feeling a little bit fuller, and that's okay. We're just out here sharing the journey, being honest, and it is what it is, you know? I do hope that in 6 to 8 weeks, I can come back and say that my body got used to it, that I feel good in my body, that I am jacked, and all of those amazing things. But to be determined, I have to trust the process. Other people have done it. I haven't done it for myself yet. So I'm out here testing it out, trying to be patient and trusting the process. And just like anyone else, I'm freaking human. And it's so much easier sometimes to support other people in the process and being the non-biased person, the cheerleader, the scientific mind of things, because I'm really good at reasoning with people. But for some reason, when it comes to being the reason in my own brain, that just does not function, and I go fucking crazy. So I'm trying something new. We're going to be patient. We're going to stick with it, and we're going to try to be kind to myself. I'm in my lunchtime walk, feeling a lot better than I did yesterday. I looked at my tracking app. My period is coming, so no wonder why I was feeling, still am, but I feel like I was able to reason out of that state. but I was feeling bloated, extra tired, extra cranky. I'm glad I went to the gym, even though I wasn't feeling very good in my body that day. We all have those bad self-image days. It happens, but I'm glad that I still went. I was so tired though that I ended up falling asleep on the floor while stretching. Sean had to wake me up and told me that I was snoring on the floor. Then I did not shower. I know, judge me. Went straight into bed with my dirty gym clothes. I can't believe how tired I was. Holy shit. And then at 2 a.m. in the morning, I woke up, took a shower, and then went back to bed. It was a little bit of not a great night's sleep because I woke up and interrupted it with the light in the water, but I'm glad that I got clean. And today it is around 12 already, and I have already had 4 training sessions. I'm actually realizing that my lunchtime walk needs to be shorter because I have to be back in 10 minutes. So just wanted to check in, let you guys know that not every day is pretty, and that as women we go through a lot more hormonal cycle fluctuations, and it's not always great. But I'm honestly glad that I'm eating more. I just have to really work on the mental piece, and it's gonna come with time. So that's all. Last week was rough. I struggled to feel in my own body because I was feeling bloated from the transition of cutting into reintroducing carbohydrates. I got really bloated. I was feeling very full, and it really fucked with me. And it was a really good place to reflect because normally I go down these spirals because I'm human. Just because I'm a trainer and a coach doesn't mean that I'm perfect. I still struggle. It's obviously easier to help other people through these problems than to help yourself. But I was going through a lot of doubts, like, should I be eating more? Should I be fueling more? And like, it was really hard because my body image took a toll. How I felt about my body took a toll. I was also very exhausted from dieting and being in a caloric deficit that I couldn't make the right decisions for myself. I had to really try to use logic. Sean really helped me with this. So I did quit caffeine. I've been clean from caffeine for a week. I feel so much better. My cycle or my period did start after I filmed the video where I was talking about my body image and how I was struggling with food. So now I'm on the tail end. My energy's coming back up. I'm starting to lean out a little bit from the menstrual bloat. If you're a girl, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And I do feel like I am done cutting. I want to eat more. I want to explore what it feels like to train, that's my food, to train with more food in my systems, to feel my muscles more, because when you have more glycogen stored in your muscles, you help them recover, you feel them more, they grow more, you get better pumps, what we call pumps, so you feel the stimulus of your workout a lot more. So I'm excited for those things, but I also have to navigate a space where maybe I'm not going to be at my leanest, and I need to be okay with that because I'm always trying to chase that. But right now I'm trying to restructure the way that my brain works to really focus on performance and muscle growth, and we can always cut again later. But the reason why cutting was really hard for me is because I need to build more muscle in order to cut and see my muscle, right? But if I'm cutting just to lose weight, I'm just skinny. Like, I need to put on muscle so I can see it when I'm leaner. So part of this process is really coming to terms with that I need more muscle mass in my body, so when I cut down, I'm not just skinny. I'm the look that I want, which is I want to have more muscle and I want to be freaking jacked. I want to be jacked. I don't want to be skinny. I know a lot of people chase skinny. I am not trying to chase skinny. I'm trying to like just move my arms and like see my shoulder flexing and see my arms. And I also just want to feel strong, and if I'm not eating enough calories, I'm not going to feel that way. So it's been a journey. I did feel under the weather, uninspired, very tired last week. I am finally coming out of it. I feel more clear-headed, and I promise to have a little bit more information about what the process is like. I just needed a whole week to like go inside and really assess what I'm doing, really check in with myself, but also get myself out of the hole, because as women, it's really hard. We get told that we are not supposed to be big or fat or muscular, and if you get a lot of comments about your body. I recently posted a few videos that were in the winter where I was 15 pounds heavier. I did lose 15 pounds over my cut of spring, and I'm getting a lot of comments about my image, like, oh, your stomach, you look bigger, when was this happened? And I was like, it was 15 pounds ago. And it's crazy that I was even hesitant to post those reels on Instagram, because I can tell that I look a little bit fuller. But I was like, fuck it, like, who cares? Like, my information that I'm sharing is valuable and good information, and I shouldn't be ashamed of how my body looks and how I'm presenting myself. I am sharing knowledge. I am comfortable in my skin most of the time. I do struggle with that. I grew up chubby, and you always have that little inner child in you that reminds you of your triggers, your traumas, and what you've been through, right? So I'm not always going to be super body positive and super forward and super confident. I have the moments where I'm the complete opposite. I'm reverting back to where I was, how I grew up. But I'm trying to distance myself from that. I'm trying to be more positive about my body. I'm trying to channel strength and muscle growth. And there's certain things that have to happen, just like I need to prioritize sleep, I need to freaking eat, and I need to really not care about what other people are saying about how I look, because at the end of the day, I'm my biggest critic, and at the end of the day, it only matters how I feel about it. So if someone is asking me as a joke if I'm pregnant, who cares? I'm not going to entertain those comments anymore. It's fine. Like, people are always going to hate, and most of the time they are making comments about your body, but at the end of the day, they're probably insecure about themselves, and they're reflecting it back to you. So if you can find a way to not let those comments affect you, and you can move forward, more power to you. So here I am, sharing this journey. I think this is really important information to share, because at the end of the day, I feel like women tend to diet longer and for most of their lives to shrink themselves, but we're not here to do that. We're here to take up space, to be strong, to be jacked, to feel comfortable in our bodies, and to be the best versions of ourselves, whatever that is to you. So